On today's episode, we're going to be discussing a book that I received in the mail the other day, right? And the book is very special because the book is written by someone that I call a friend, right? That was a colleague who turned friend, who turned into family. So it's going to be really interesting to review this book with you all and to tell you all about this book. So the book is called Social Services 360, Serving with Excellence and Integrity, based on 25 years of social service experience, written by none other than my friend, Patricia Watson Williams, MSOL. And I thought it was really important for me to purchase the book because, this is my friend. I'm big on support, so I did purchase the book. But I wanted to purchase this book because, as many of you may know or may not know, I am a social worker by profession. So I wanted to see, if anything that she says in this book overlaps with the work that I also do. And when she first said she was writing this book, I was like very interested in what she was going to write about, and like what she told me what she was going to write about. I was like, oh yeah, that's good. But I think that she may have changed a little bit of what she said she was going to do, but we won't know until we read it. So I want to share with you the back of the cover. So the back of the cover, it says Social Services 360, servicing with excellence and integrity in a comprehensive exploration of the challenge and opportunities facing social service professionals and organizations. Inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's quote, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." The book examines the sacrifices and rewards of social services programming while addressing systematic obstacles that hinder progress. With over 25 years of first-hand experience, focusing on long-term solutions over short-term fixes. The book emphasized excellence and integrity in social services, exploring how these values can be integrated into service delivery. It dives into the realities faced by social service professionals, offering practical solutions for navigating high-stress environments and organizational challenges. The text also addresses the complexities of servicing underrepresented populations, providing insight into the client-centered care, trauma-informed approaches, and building trust. Social Service 360 calls for reimagining of the system supporting vulnerable communities. It's a call to action for professionals and policymakers to collaborate in fostering resilient, sustainable organizations that serve those in need. This book is a roadmap for the future of social services, grounded in compassion, innovation, and accountability. And then below that, it gives a slight bio about her, and it says Patricia Williams is a dedicated social service professional with over 2 decades of experience advocating for marginalized population, holding a Bachelor of Arts in Conflict Resolution from CUNY and a Master's of Science in Organizational Leadership from Alliance University. Patricia specializes in capacity building, leadership development, and relationship building. Throughout career, Patricia had worked with diverse groups, including the homeless, formerly incarcerated individuals, single women, families, those affected by mental illness and substance abuse, and at-risk youth. Her work spans various nonprofit organizations where she consistently championed the rights and dignity of vulnerable communities. Patricia is driven by the belief expressed in Jeremiah 29:11 to give hope in a future. Her life work is centered on improving the quality of life for others and creating a more just and equitable world. So I'm very interested into, reading this book and be able to provide some insight and have a discussion with her, as she'll be coming onto the podcast soon to discuss her, her thought process and, just to give a little first-hand glance about why she wrote this book, right? And what drove her to write this book. And, I will have some questions as well as I read the book to see, maybe some overlaps or something that, may have, gave me a or like, maybe I didn't see it that way. So it's a very short read. Looking at the inside the cover, it's broken down into 5 parts, and there is 19 chapters. So just to give you a little sneak peek, right? The context, right, is the prefix. The part 1 is introduction. Chapter 1, finding purpose through service with integrity, excellence, and urgency. Chapter 2, evolving landscape of social services. Part 2, servicing the underrepresented, a client-centered approach. Chapter 3, the challenges of serving underrepresented populations. Chapter 4, identifying and understanding the unique needs of different groups. Chapter 5, understanding the relationship between mental health and trauma. That's a good one. Chapter 6, the roadmap to holistic healing approach. Chapter 7, building trust with the clients. Chapter 8, client empowerment. Part 3, excellence in action, the role of a social service worker. Chapter 9, navigating struggles and celebrating victories, the journey of social service professionals. Chapter 10, core competencies for excellence. Chapter 11, ethics and accountability, navigating complex decisions. Chapter 12, compassionate communication. Chapter 13, HR, staff training, professional development, and employee effectiveness. Part 4, organizational leadership and foundation. Chapter 14, the leadership within, a personal story of transformation. I think that part's going to be about her. Chapter 15, navigating organizational challenges and systematic concerns. Chapter 16, data with soul, passion, purpose, and power in social services. Chapter 17, reimagining culture, sustainable change in social services. Part 5, conclusion. Chapter 18, in the shadow of the uncertainty. Chapter 19, a call of action for collaboration and change. Then after that is the afterword, the acknowledgments, the suggested reading list, multimedia and digital resources, references, and about the author. So I am truly excited to dig in on this book, and like I said, be able to reflect back on the work that I do myself and see if there happens to be any overlap, right? Because I have worked alongside Miss Patricia Williams. I worked alongside her as a colleague in a setting, and we did a little bit differently because we did different tasks, but our mindset was, in essence the same. So I want to see what her thought process was, right? Because we would share things, but we didn't share everything. So I want to see, hopefully she'll let us know a little bit more about that in the book of her thought process about, the social service, profession and the work that we do. Right, because I personally have some concerns as well, working in my profession, I will, at some point not write a book about it, but I will, make an episode about that on a podcast about me leaving and going to a different part of my life and chapter, because I was unhappy with the work that I was doing, right? I was feeling really burned out a little bit, and it just didn't really sit right with me. And I was like, you know what? It's time to go. And it was really a surprise thing where, the person who thought they had power over me actually did not have power over me. If they knew what I was going to do before I did it, it would have really shocked them. But they thought that they shocked me. But you can't shock somebody who's already at that point of ready to be released, so to speak. So So that chapter will definitely be coming up soon on the podcast. And I've been holding out on that story for a while too. Like, people been asking, but I never really gave a clear statement or expectation or, acknowledgement about it. But yeah, so that'll be coming up soon. But like I said, I'm very excited about this book. And like I said, once I finish reading a book, I will be having Patricia on the podcast to, discuss the book and, give some intake. But editing me here, I just noticed that as I was listening to this, that I gave the wrong date for the event. The event was on September 20th. That done passed. Next event, November 8th. I will be going to that event, but I'm not sure when this episode will drop. So if you missed it, just go to her Instagram and get the information. Okay? I plan to have her on the podcast. Probably try to get her, if I can't get her before her event, or if not, definitely after her event to have a more in-depth, because I'm pretty sure at the event she won't dig that deep into. So maybe I think after the event would be better to, unpack it just a little bit more. But, that's all I have for you all today for this episode of the podcast. Please stay encouraged, stay prayed up, and remember, live your best, do your best. Because at the end of the day has to end, and all you have sometimes is yourself. See you later.